the podcast. So, welcome, welcome. So excited to be here this morning. My name is Chelsea Wood. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a fitness and nutrition coach, and I've been active my whole life, growing up as a cheerleader and competitive water skier. I've been a group fitness instructor for over 14 years and have been a master trainer for a local big box gym. I'm a former head coach for Orange Theory Fitness. I currently offer personal training and virtual nutrition coaching, and I'll be opening my own gym this winter. So a lot of you see Heidi training in a garage gym. We're going to actually have a real life-size gym coming this winter. So I absolutely love coaching, and I have personally invested over $100,000 in certifications. And I'm currently completing a master coach certification. And I believe that everyone needs a coach or a mentor. And I would not be talking to you today without the coaches that I have that are keeping me accountable. So I've also had my own journey and relationship with food. And I experienced a couple years of binging. And I would eat until I threw up, going through a stressful time with my husband's medical issues. And I actually chose to do a bodybuilding competition last year. And after my first bodybuilding competition, I regained all of my weight back, plus an extra 20 pounds, and decided I needed to get in control. And so I chose to compete again. I competed last month in April, and I had to lose over 30 pounds to get on stage. And I am so grateful for that experience and everything that I learned. It was so hard, but I'm so grateful that I did it. So I want to jump right into the purpose of this workshop. We're only going to be here for 30 minutes. We're going to keep it short and sweet and simple. And we are going to talk about the purpose of habits over goals. We live in a goal-oriented society where we are constantly encouraged to set big, audacious goals and strive for success. And while goals can be motivating, I believe that habits have the potential to transform our lives in a more profound and sustainable way. I'm sure each of you set a goal to lose a certain amount of weight, run a marathon, earn a promotion, stop drinking soda. And achieving the goal can bring a sense of accomplishment, but the journey to achieving the goal can be challenging and sometimes discouraging. So we may encounter setbacks and obstacles and moments of self-doubt along the way. Once we achieve the goal, we often struggle to maintain the progress that we've made. So can anybody relate to a time when you set a goal to lose weight just to regain it or more? Maybe you were able to stop drinking soda or stop eating the sugar because you put a timeline on it. But once the date was up, you went back to your old habits. So when we create healthy habits, we're focused on the daily actions and behaviors that we repeat consistently. And habits are powerful because they shape who we become and how we live our lives on a day-to-day basis. So when we focus on developing positive habits, we create a solid foundation for long-term success and well-being. So I just want to talk about a few reasons why habits are better than goals. And then we're going to bring Heidi on to talk about her journey. So the first thing is consistency. Habits thrive on consistency. So by committing to a specific habit and integrating it into our daily routine, we make it a natural part of our lives. When we're consistently engaging in positive habits, they become automatic and require less effort over time. So I like to relate this to brushing your teeth. Like growing up, you were reminded morning and night to brush your teeth, and the struggle was real. But eventually you liked the sense of accomplishment for completing the task. You were such a big girl or big boy. And then you enjoyed the minty clean feeling of the reward, and maybe the reward that the dentist gave you for having a cavity-free checkup. And today it's just part of your daily routine. It's what you do. So think about that. How would life be different if you woke up with energy? You were excited to tackle the day ahead. What if you woke up pain-free? Feeling confident to meet the family at the pool this weekend? So habits can create that. And sustainable progress is what habits allow us to focus on. So it's focusing on the gradual progress rather than the immediate outcomes. So small incremental changes may seem insignificant at first, but they accumulate over time and create significant impact and confidence. You'll hear me say a lot of times 1% better daily. My kids have that ingrained in their minds. And habits are steady progress without the overwhelm and the burnout. So when one of my clients wants to try to cut back on sugar, we tackle it one day at a time, slowly reducing the amount of sugar over time rather than just quitting immediately to experience withdrawals and frustration. And we take it 1 week at a time, slowly limiting ourselves to the amount we consume, learning what works for healthier replacements to satisfy the craving, and creating a certain curiosity around why we think we need the sugar to help us be in control of the behavior. Because there's a lot of mindset work that's happening around food, and we all struggle with that. So, where's one area of your life that you might feel a little out of control? Is it sugar? What about scrolling social media or avoiding the to-do list? Creating healthy habits can change your daily activities to help you show up with more confidence, less brain fog, more energy, and allow you to get more restful sleep at night. So let's also talk about lifestyle transformation. Goals are often temporary targets, but habits have the power to transform your entire lifestyle. And when we develop healthy habits such as regular exercise, mindful eating, or consistent self-care, they become ingrained in our daily lives. And it just becomes who we are. So we become that type of person that naturally engages in these behaviors rather than just striving for a specific outcome. And you're about to hear from Heidi and some of her lifestyle changes that have naturally evolved with time. It wasn't an overnight quick fix thing. Like, this has been a couple years in the making. Personal growth comes from creating habits. And habits are not only about achieving external results, but also about personal growth and self-improvement. So by focusing on habits, we develop discipline, resilience, and self-control, and we learn to prioritize our well-being and make choices that align with our values. So the process of building habit teaches us valuable lessons that extend beyond the initial goal we set. So a couple of years ago, I made a commitment to get up at 4:30 a.m. to prioritize scripture study and prayer before going to the gym. It was ingrained in me to go to the gym. It was so easy. And I realized if I could be so committed to my fitness and nutrition, something that had already become habit, why couldn't I try the same commitment to other areas of my life? So, what are you doing currently on repeat that maybe you could habit stack? Something like maybe you're working on trying to get better at taking your vitamins. So you lay them out next to your toothbrush. So it reminds you to take them morning and night. These are simple things we can do to create more habits. Just add something simple to what you're already doing anyway. And if you aren't creating new habits, it's because you're overcomplicating the process. So I'm going to show you how to simplify the big goal and break it down into achievable bite-sized pieces so it becomes habit. And then the last thing is just lasting happiness. Ultimately, habits contribute to our overall happiness and well-being. And when we cultivate positive habits that nourish our mind, body, and soul, we experience a greater sense of fulfillment and contentment. So unlike the fleeting happiness that comes from achieving the goal, the happiness derived from living a habit-driven life is sustainable and enduring. Because every day there's little victories. We can celebrate at the end of every day. How cool would that be? So let's bring on Heidi, and I want you to just learn from her and realize that it's not fast, it's not overnight, and she's seen tremendous results through simple consistency and finding out what has worked for her. So she's a mother of 5, successful business owner, a friend to many of you watching today. She's 51 and confidently rocking a bikini, you guys. This is pretty amazing. So I want to make sure that she's a panelist here on the Zoom as well. So let me make sure you're on there. Okay. Can we see you though is the thing. We might only be able to hear her, but if you're on Instagram Live, you can see her face on there. So can you hear me on here? Okay, Heidi?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, there we go. So let's just first talk about, when did you know that you needed to make a change, or what was the biggest turning point causing you to get serious?
So one of the things that's unique about right now is that it was really 2 years ago, right now. And I had I'd had a full hysterectomy. And Chelsea, I think I need you to just mute your computer. So I'd had am I on mute? I just want to make sure because I'm hearing the echo. Okay, sorry. So I'd had a full hysterectomy. Maybe it's your phone, but you've got to hear it somehow. We can just, you can choose one or the other, maybe. Okay, we're gonna get it. Okay. Or maybe we just have to live with a little bit of echo. Are we good? Okay. So I had had a full hysterectomy in the summer of 2020. So it had been 9 months, and I was trying to just see how I felt, how my body was going to ease into a full menopause in that shock situation. And slowly but surely, things got bad, worse and worse and worse. And it kind of became, my sleep was going, my energy, my motivation. Someone must be here. Then I started gaining weight. I had no energy to do anything. I had no interest in doing anything. I felt awful. And then what happened was my mental health, my mental game started to really diminish. To the point that by April, I was really unpleasant to be around. I was really unhappy, and I wasn't able to show up for my family. I was putting everything I could into work and kind of launching this new Heidi Swap Shop online classes thing, and I had nothing to draw from. And to the point that my sister kind of came to me and said, you really have to do something, and encouraged me to go back to the doctor. So I started to get advice, and the biggest advice I was getting was that I was going to need to lift heavy weights to restore muscle in my body. I'm still hearing a lot of echo, Chelsea. I'm sorry.
They go in and out for some sense.
You don't have a headphone, do you? But that might help. So I went to the doctor, heavy weights. I've never lifted weights before. I didn't know anything about it. And so I knew that I needed to hire somebody to help. So Eric and I decided we're going to do this together. He also was struggling. So that was what started. We started to do it together. So I think that was your question. What made me, I felt absolutely terrible. And at the same time, I started hormone replacement therapy, and I started lifting weights.
Perfect. So it's been, like you said, 2 years ago. And what did you notice when you started to get more consistent?
It was not easy. I was really frustrated, and I was well, first of all, I was kind of embarrassed at what I could do, because it seemed so small, right? But then so I worked with the first trainer that I worked with before Chelsea, from April until July, and then he sold his house and moved to Arizona. And I was so sad because I thought he was so wonderful. And he was the perfect person to help me and Eric kind of start this journey. And he was so encouraging and so positive. And I just was really proud of myself and proud of Eric. And we were really proud of each other that we were going twice a week, every week. And we weren't stopping. I wouldn't say that I was seeing like gains or changes, but we were really proud of ourselves for going.
So it was kind of a confidence piece of just continuing to show up, maybe that you noticed first. And you had an accountability buddy, right? That made so much difference, I know. Because I remember you coming in the beginning and you didn't want to be there. And you just kept coming because Eric would drag you, but you just kept coming. So you did it anyway.
And I was such a complainer.
And you still kind of are sometimes. It's okay. So how do you feel like it was Eric that helped you to stay consistent through the hard? Like if he wouldn't have got up and gone, do you think that was the biggest thing that helped you?
100%. Because for me, like my stress goes like this, right? And it's pretty sharp up and down. And so when I'm in a high stress, I feel like I don't deserve to worry about myself. I have to put work first. And then if there's time, then I'll come back to myself. But Eric doesn't have that same stress meter. And for him, it was a complete, like, not even a question. We would just go. And so he would be the one that would set the alarm, and he would be the one that would push me out of bed, and he would be the one that drove. And it was a complete non-negotiable for him.
I think that helps. That helped for sure. Just you guys going together. And so I think that's like that in life, right? Is we always have like that girlfriend to lean on, or that we share some goals with, or a spouse or coworker or something. And having that accountability buddy, that coach or somebody that's keeping you going is so key. So fast forwarding a little bit, what have been your results from being more aware of what you're eating? And now that you're lifting weights consistently, like where are you today, fast forward 2 years later?
So there's a lot of things that really challenge me. Sleep is really hard for me. It is really hard for me to sleep. And I don't mean I can't sleep. I mean that, like, I'm always pushing myself into staying up too late. And so I discovered really quick that I couldn't show up to lift weights in the morning if I didn't go to sleep. So this is probably one of the first big habits that broke, was that if I knew I was going to Chelsea in the morning, I had to put myself to bed before midnight. And then I realized how much better I felt and how much emotionally and mentally more capable and stable I felt if I was sleeping. And so I kind of proved to myself that sleep was helping me. So that was a big challenge. I really struggle with nutrition. I don't like food. I don't like to prepare food. I don't like to plan food, except for that when I would lift weights, it would deplete me to my very core. There's no faking it. And also, like, I didn't want to just eat something crappy because I had just worked so hard and I was in pain, and I was being reminded of my pain every second of every day when I was trying to go up and down the stairs, right? Or I always joke with Chelsea that my arms are so sore I can't even lift my scissors, right? And so I had this constant reminder that if I was gonna choose to reach for a cookie, which I do, I have not cut cookies out of my life. But if I choose that, then I'm really aware that I'm choosing that. And it's not just kind of like an automatic thing. The decision, like, I like So I need convenience in my life. I had convinced myself that there's no way that I could ever plan. And so I would just have to go through the drive-through. So drive-through became was a staple. It's been a staple for a long, long time, right? And so I like cookies more than I like drive-throughs. So I decided that I could intentionally stop the drive-throughs, but I couldn't totally give up a cookie, right? So one of the decisions that I made was that I was no longer going to eat through a drive-through. And I didn't even miss it. I wasn't even sad. And it did cause me to have things available that were fast. I'm still not good at preparing, and I'm still not good at planning, but I am capable of purchasing items that are good choices to have on hand, to choose instead of feeling like I have to default to a drive-through. So interestingly enough, drive-through fast food has completely come off the table. That's a pretty big thing, especially judging from where I was. I still will eat a cookie, and I feel like if I decided to say, you're never going to have a cookie again, I can't even have a happy life. I don't even want to live that life. Chelsea had said, what can you do to make sure that every time you eat, there's protein? And that meant trial and error with finding protein powders that I liked, or something that I had on hand that had protein in it that I enjoyed. And so I do have protein solutions available to me that I can pick up and enjoy. The last and final thing that has been a really big push, and to be honest, I needed help. This is new, a new change for me. I have enjoyed Diet Coke. You guys know this. I enjoy Diet Coke. I like the way it feels on my throat, in my mouth. And here's what happened. I went to Movara and just recently, and they had fruit infused water, and it just tastes delicious. There's no Diet Coke for that whole entire week. So I kind of got a cold, you're done. And I also believe that I didn't like water, but drinking the water with the fruit was delicious, and I actually really enjoyed it. So since coming home, I bought myself a little thing that had infused water, and I felt like I could do that. So drinking water was really enjoyable for me. And I haven't told myself you can never have Diet Coke again. I have had a few Diet Cokes, but it doesn't do for me what it was doing. And so it's just a little teeny change. And those changes, sleeping and eating protein and being consistent in the gym, and in my opinion, the last one, letting myself be proud of myself, which is hard for me, I think has allowed actual change to happen in my body.
Again, I love it. Kate, you talked a lot about cookies. What's your favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip cookies. No,
Chocolate chip.
No question.
Is there do you prefer chip over crumble or just homemade?
No, I like to make it myself.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll get your famous chocolate chip cookie recipe one day. I love it. So these are such key nuggets that you talked about. Like you just said that you just made a swap, right? And how perfect is your last name for that, right? I just am not thinking of that. But you just made little swaps over time. You chose to stop doing the drive-through and just having easier access, clean things on hand. And that's truly what it is. If it's out of sight, typically it's out of mind. And so if you only stock the fridge with healthy options, then that's what's going to be reachable and easy access. And you're not going to hop in the car and drive to the store to buy the junk if you have stuff there. So I'm just so proud of you. And the lessons you've learned along the way, the consistency, and just your vulnerability. You're willing to get on here and say, I'm not perfect, I still eat cookies, but yet you've seen some tremendous results. So we're going to wrap things up. What would you say to someone that's on the fence about wanting to start and might be thinking about hiring a coach or starting a healthier lifestyle? and they're scared. What would you say to that person?
I would say this, that I genuinely didn't believe. I don't think I held a lot of belief that I didn't believe I would ever be where I am right now, where like I actually have abs. I did not think I would ever see that. I wasn't even expecting that. That wasn't even a dream. The only belief, the only hope, I didn't even have a belief because I didn't actually think I could stay consistent. The hope that I had was that I would feel better. I would not have done it by myself. And I have proved that over and over and over a million times, because I have started over a million times, which is what proved to me that I couldn't even believe myself that I would have success, right? Having a coach, in the beginning, it was Mark, and having Chelsea, I have done things that I would never even push myself to, because Chelsea's like, yeah, you can do that. And I was like, no, I cannot. And she's like, yeah, do it, try it. And when I could, I was like, oh, wow, I could. But I think that we can have somebody else believe in us when we can't believe in ourselves. Because how do you believe in yourself if you've never done it? And so you borrow the belief from somebody who have seen other people do it because they've coached them. I do believe that people need a coach, and that we need people who are smarter than us and better at us at stuff when we don't know how. I still don't know if I could, I still don't think that I could like go down to Vasa and like train myself. I'm not wanting to do that. But I have had success only because of consistency. I haven't been perfect along the way, and I've had stressful times, and I've had down times, and I've been frustrated. And it took a long time before I could visually see success in me. I think success was happening, but I wasn't even seeing it, right? And then all of a sudden I was like, is that an ab? Like, can I see that? And I have surprised myself. And Chelsea's not surprised. And I think even probably Eric not surprised.
No, it's been fun to watch the transformation. And it really has been in these last few months that you have really been able to just come alive, that you've been able to achieve your full potential. And I remember after you came back from Avara, it's a fitness resort in Southern Utah, and she felt so good. And you were so excited about the results, but there was one thing that you were most worried about. What were you most worried about? What are you still worried about?
Well, this is what will make me cry. Because like feeling good and being proud of yourself is scary, because then what if you pat yourself on the back and give yourself this gold star, and then you fall off, and then you just slip back into all of your bad habits, and what if this was just a minute? What if you were just good for a minute and then you can't keep it up? I think that there's been a lot of proof in my life that I couldn't sustain something. I couldn't sustain a change. Yeah.
And I think so many of us can relate to that. We've started over and over and over. And the best thing about starting over, though, is you're not truly starting over, because you did learn something. Like, we're never failing, we're always learning. And you've learned so much along the way over the last 2 years, and that's what's gotten you to where you are right now. So as Heidi was sharing that with me, we talked about it, and I've had the most success with my clients helping them with a 6-week habit challenge, where we have one focus per week and we add a new habit weekly. So it's a great way to start a healthier lifestyle. If you already feel like you've got some momentum going, it helps you to level up your current routine and be held accountable for change. And so what I want to offer you today is access to my app Unleash. And this 6-week challenge is a comprehensive program designed to help you achieve your wellness goals and create sustainable habits for a lifetime. I know that in 6 weeks that I can teach you just simple tools, just like Heidi's received in our conversations in the gym, that literally you can just have it stack over time and are going to change your life. It's really truly as simple as moving your body, getting good sleep, drinking water, and having accountability. If you have those things in place, fitness, nutrition, and accountability, you will succeed. And so we'll talk about setting realistic goals and creating habits. And there's going to be nutrition education around macros and meal planning and food prep. And there will be daily habit tracking. So if you're somebody that likes to check off the to-do list, this app will be for you. If you don't want to check in and mark them off, that's fine too, but you can at least see them and it's going to keep you engaged. And that's the most important thing. So you'll have a community chat where you can come in and talk to other people that are on the same journey, that have questions. You can learn from each other. And more importantly, I'm going to check in with you weekly. We're going to talk about where you are. And just like I get to see Heidi a couple times a week, I'm going to have that opportunity with you to do a weekly check-in specific to your goals, where you're starting today. And the challenge is going to start on Memorial Day. So it'd be this coming Monday, and it'll go through Sunday, July 9th for a total of 6 weeks. So how many times have you said, I'll start after the holidays or after the new year? Well, this time we're going to start on the holiday. And it's all virtual. So even if you're traveling, you'll have everything you need to stay connected on your device. And I know that each one of you showed up today to create change. So if you're in a place where you can, I want you to just maybe close your eyes for a moment and think about how you would feel different 10 pounds lighter. Or what if you could finally fit in that swimsuit stuffed in the back corner of the drawer and you put it on with confidence? Like, how would you act differently if you had a weekly check-in with a coach to ask questions and keep you on track and refocused to your goals, specific to you? What would it be like to have the energy to show up as a better wife, mother, friend, boss? What if in 6 weeks you woke up feeling free from the cravings that are causing you to feel trapped? Hey, open your eyes. Would 6 weeks be worth the result that you've been chasing? I know you can do this with the right plan specific to your fitness goals and your nutrition goals. And I will be here to keep you accountable to put a plan in place so that we can create that together. And space is limited. I want this to be exclusive to those of you who are ready to feel different by July. And Heidi, you said you needed accountability. What's your commitment level, girl?
Well, I will say this. It has been really important for me to keep my changes small and achievable because I hate feeling like a failure. I hate feeling like a failure. And so, like, just choosing to reduce my Diet Coke or choosing to try to add protein powder to my yogurt, which I was not excited about, or choosing to go to bed before midnight. Like these were big but achievable things that I could do. And when I could do it and I realized it was worth it, then like I was willing to keep it on board, right? The thing that I've been saying to Chelsea for a long time is, I keep saying this, I have this belief that I'm unable to plan meals. And so being willing to learn about some nutrition meal prep and doing some meal prep. Maybe I can't be fully meal prepped. Maybe there's just one meal per day that I meal prep. I'm trying to figure that out. But I told her that in May, I would address my nutrition at more, a little bit more. So I'm on board for this 6 weeks and making changes
Okay.
and little.
Yeah. And I love it. That's what you talked like. That's the one thing. Okay. I'm going to focus on meal prep. That's my area that I feel like I need to dive in. And so that's what we're going to talk about with you is meal prep. So if we can get 10 people to sign up in the next 24 hours, we're going to do a private group with Heidi. And I want to share, we're actually going to share some of the videos from the workouts that we're doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to include some weekly recipe drops for meals, things that I'll be sharing with Heidi to help her in her meal prep. And maybe
But they can't be bodybuilder. They can't be bodybuilder recipes.
no, girl,
That
I
should
got
be
you.
normal person recipes.
Yes, I got you. We'll teach you how it can still taste good and be clean. So, and then throughout the 6 weeks, maybe we'll come on and do a couple of these, more exclusive in a private setting. And you're going to have lifetime access to the app. So you'll be in that Unleashed community moving forward, so you can stay connected, moving out of the 6 weeks. You guys, in 6 weeks, I know that you can walk away with the tools that you need to literally transform your life. 6 weeks. Is it worth 6 weeks? And right now your brain is telling you, like Heidi has said, I can't, it won't work. I've failed before and it's just another one of those failed attempts. But I truly am confident that together we can create enough momentum to help establish good habits for you, those habits that you're seeking. So signups start now. They are live on my website, chelseawood.com. It's CHELSIWOOD.com. And the link is also going to be down here in the chat. It's $5.99 for the 6 weeks, and it's going to give you access right away to the app, all the setup. There is a chat widget on the website. So if you do have questions, just type in the chat. My team's going to be behind the scenes helping answer questions and make you feel confident in your decision. You guys, I literally am so confident that if you will commit to your weekly check-ins and you will commit to the daily habits that we put in place for you, I will give you a 6-week guarantee. I'll give you the $5.99 back. If you have showed up weekly and you've checked in with me and you've done everything that you feel like you could have and I didn't follow through, I'll give you your money back. I'm so confident that I know that this can change your life. So if you have any more questions, go to chelseawood.com. We'll throw the link in the chat. And thank you so much, Heidi. You're amazing.
So I just have one question for you. When you have people in there, are you working with them at their level?
Yeah.
It's not like you're coaching the whole group, it's individual coaching.
Yeah. So there'll be a group community chat like this, like we're on Instagram, we're chatting away. And that's a place that people can share their favorite recipes and motivation and wins and things like that. But individually, weekly, you'll be checking in with me. And whether that's through a phone call, whether that's through the app, whatever fits your needs, every single week, we'll be doing a check-in. And you're going to walk away from that conversation with homework for the next week. And maybe it'll be just meal prepping 2 days over the next week, Heidi. I just want 2 days before I see you next time. And so, yes, we're going to meet you where you are. If your fitness is, you're just getting started, then we're going to start there. If you're an athlete, I've got some workouts that I can send your way to help you level up, and I can still.
So if somebody wants to maybe try having you give them a workout, you can do that. If it's nutrition, whatever it is that they're wanting, then you're there to provide that.
Yep.
Help.
Yeah. And there'll be education every single week. So every day there's going to be just like a small snippet of education to educate you, mostly around nutrition. We're going to start there as the basic habit, and then we're going to build on that. So maybe like the first week, we're going to focus on veggies and their importance. You're going to understand carbs, fats, and protein and why, and just little bite-sized pieces over time to keep you engaged, because when you know better, you do better. And that's what I'm here to just educate you. So.
Awesome.
All right. Okay,
everybody. Okay. See you, Chelsea. I'm going to sign out.
Yep. Have a good day. All right. Just hop off the live. So if you guys have any questions, go to, you can either go to that link that's in the chat,
I am not
chelseawood.com. Oh, There we go. Maybe I need to leave. I still got Heidi on there. So if you have any questions, go ahead and go to chelseawood.com or that unleash.chelseawood.com. You can get signed up there, and registration ends this Thursday at midnight. So I can take the weekend to get everybody onboarded and do those first check-in phone calls so that we are ready to go for Monday. Again, it's virtual, you guys. If you're traveling this weekend, that's not a big deal. I'll be able to access you through the app and we can get you started still on Memorial Day. I'm so excited for those of you that are ready to invest in yourselves, to make change, and excited to get to know each one of you better. If you have any questions, hop over to my website. You can start chatting through the app there, and we'll get you signed up. Have a good day.